Hey shrimp people, what's up? Welcome to my shrimp tip of the week. This is probably the most important tip that I'm going to give in my series of weekly tips. And it's a very important for beginner shrimp keepers to start off on the right foot, and for people who are already shrimp keeping and not having that level of success that they should be having, to really focus on water parameters. The most important thing in keeping freshwater dwarf shrimp. Today I'm going to focus on speaking about Neocaridina shrimp and Caridina shrimp, but specifically Taiwan bee shrimp. Now these two types of shrimp require drastically different parameters. First we'll focus on Taiwan bees, and what you're looking at now is my red King Kong Taiwan bees, my Masuras, my red pandas, extreme reds. I love this tank and they are absolutely doing phenomenally. And what I find is that when your tank is thriving, the shrimp are active, they are constantly reproducing, there is a high percentage of baby survival, and these are things that can really indicate that everything's going well. And the most important factor that contributes to the success of your shrimp tank is going to be your parameters. Taiwan bee shrimp require soft water. So in order to achieve this, I'm using a buffered substrate. I'm using ADA, aqua soil, Malaya. I use RO water and I remineralize it with a product called Salty Shrimp GH+. I'm not going to go into how to set up a shrimp tank for Taiwan bees right now. But in order to be successful with these shrimp, you definitely need to accommodate them very specifically to the exact water parameters that they require. This is something that is absolutely essential when dealing with these type of shrimp, or you just won't be successful. Now you may be wondering, well, if it's off, will they still live? Well, yeah, they'll still live, most likely. But will they thrive? No. Will they get buried? Maybe. Will the babies survive? No, not really. You'll have a small percentage of baby survival, perhaps, if any. And so a lot of shrimp keepers enjoy this look that you're seeing right now, right? The different age groups, the colony. It's a magnificent sight, and it's an accomplishment when you can provide these shrimp with the ideal environment for them to thrive. Another tip I have is, aside from the very specific parameters that are set out for Taiwan bee shrimp, this is general parameters that everybody sort of goes by, you also want to ask the person you're buying your shrimp from what the shrimp are being kept at. For Neocaridina shrimp, the opposite is really in effect. They require hard water, and a lot of times people tap is completely sufficient in order to keep them happy. I mean, I'm keeping my Neocaridina in tap water. They're doing just fine. They're breeding like crazy. I do know that some people don't have tap water that's suitable. It's way too hard, or it's way too soft, or really there's a lot of chemicals in it that is affecting the success. So in that situation, you can also use RO water to create a tank for Neocaridina shrimp. And you're just using a different mineralization product that's a GH plus KH, and you're not using a buffered substrate because you don't need the pH to be brought down to that low level. So what the RO water does is it gives you the ability to be more in control of your parameters, to manipulate them to be exactly what you want them to be, whereas tap water, you can't really control that. And if you're lucky enough to have tap water that's suitable for neos, that's great. But for the few of you who don't, or who would rather have more control, you can definitely also set up an RO water tank for your neos. Now, this sounds intimidating to people who have never done it. I know, because I was that person, and I was scared, and I didn't know what I was doing. And I mean, it can be intimidating, but there are a lot of people in this hobby who will help you out. Those people who are doing this stuff are incredibly passionate, and there are lots of Facebook groups and online forums for shrimp keepers that if you ask questions, people will gladly help or direct you to resources that will help you. And this is how I got off on the right foot. And you will save yourself a lot of time and money by doing things the right way from the beginning. Shrimp won't die, you'll have lots of shrimp, breeding, and you'll have fun, and it won't suck out your love for the hobby because you're not being successful and you don't know why. So this is why parameters is really the number one thing to consider when you're setting up your shrimp tank. Decide what kind of shrimp you're getting first, and then go from there. Buy all the proper materials, buy the RO unit if you're doing Taiwan bees. You can't go without it. If you guys have any questions for me, feel free to post in the comments. Soon I'm going to make a video on how I set up a tank for Taiwan bee shrimp, just to help you guys out, and also a few videos on how to use RO water, how to remineralize, all that good stuff. So if you're thinking about making the transition from Neos to Taiwan bees, or you just want to jump into straight into Taiwan bees, that's cool. I will definitely be putting out some videos on that. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Remember, parameters is the number one thing to concentrate on when you are setting up your shrimp tank. Thanks for watching.